right, and welcome back. Today we are in our promo day 2 for our incredible interview series on predictable income system for online coaches and healers. Welcome if you are watching this live with us. We would love for you to participate, to comment, because that's exactly when the energy starts flowing, when we are putting something either on the paper or in the computer we are processing through, and that's exactly what the movement happens and when things really start changing for us. But before we dive in, I just wanted to say this is one of the incredible events, and the beautiful part is that you don't even have to be anywhere in the room in a specific time, because this is the interview series, meaning that these interviews are coming straight to your inbox as soon as you register. And we are starting that event from June 8th. So you have plenty of time to register and just consume something in between. And we actually have the kickoff party, Jenifer, on June 7th, which is another great thing, right? So just register and you'll have at the comfort of your house watch the interviews every day delivered to your home from 6 a.m. Eastern time to 6 a.m. next day. And if you really want to keep them all, because remember, the way we are actually rewiring our mind is when we are repeating and watching something lands differently, you can always invest into the VIP pass, where you can have all the speakers, their gifts, and also the 3 Zoom calls with me during the event. But let's dive in. And today I have with me one of the amazing speakers, Jenifer Merifield. And thanks
Hello.
so much, Jenifer. Yeah, I'm super, super excited that you are with me, because my thing is I would love to just shine the light on anybody who wants to participate in these lives, because again, it's one thing when we see the person on the picture, and it's a different thing when we can feel the vibe as we are talking, as we are just diving into different topics.
Yeah.
And Jenifer, just before we dive in, tell everybody who you are helping and how you are supporting people.
So I am a personal excellence mentor and a master integration coach, and I help people with going from stuck to stoked. Someone gave me that title
Mm-hmm.
recently, and I kind of like it. Uh, Taking you from being someone who consumes knowledge to want to grow, enjoying personal growth, but kind of getting stuck a little bit sometimes, and going from era of knowledge of information to the integration era. So going from just learning to actually embodying what we know and learn.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I love that because, again, when we are going to talk today, our theme of the day is what actually creates consistent client flow. And we want to start with everything starts with our mindset and our energy. And Jenifer, let's just, like unpack it a little bit, because a lot of times people think, okay, if I just had the right strategy, everything would work for me. But we know that before any strategy, it comes our mindset. How do we set our mind? Are we really here to go all the way in, or we are just here to be entertained, right? So let's just dive in into that.
Yeah, let's dive in. I mean, it's such a great topic, and it's so there's so many great theories and philosophies about mindset, and mindset is very, very important, but it's not the only thing. There's sort of like partners with mindset, and a really important one is the nervous system, and it's the emotional regulation space. So and again, we go back to like knowledge versus embodiment is we can be very logical, and we can know the answers to all the questions and what we need to do, and what's going on. But when we find ourselves stuck, it's because it goes deeper than that. We can't just intellectualize ourselves to success or freedom, or passing discomforts. There's the connection of what's the deeper level, what else is going on to that's triggering or holding on for us in particular. Each person, it's a little bit different, but there's certainly similarities in everybody.
I love what you share. And you know what? This was just, landing to me before we went live. I was like, how can I actually explain to people what embodiment means? And you know what came to me? Imagine I'm meeting you and I say, Jennifer, can you imagine I'm such an amazing cook, which I'm not. I'm just
Okay.
not. Imagine that. Uh, what do you like, fish or meat, Jennifer?
Me, oh, I like it all, everything. Yeah.
So how about, like I have this amazing, incredible recipe how to prepare that salmon with all these interesting
Ooh.
spices, with the soy sauce. Is it something that you would love?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So how about meat? I had like so many different recipes. I watched so many YouTube videos. Like I really know how to make the most delicious meat. Like which one do you prefer?
Right, yeah.
Right?
I'll go for a tenderloin steak. How about that?
Oh, I love that. So I can tell you, I'm like that encyclopedia with the recipes, and I can describe you in all details how deliciously everything I can cook. But Jennifer, are you still hungry?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I mean by that. It's like it's one thing when we are just describing and knowing, but it's another thing when we are actually doing it and we
Yeah.
are living through it, right? So until I actually prepare and cook something and say, Jennifer, here it is, right? And you eat and
Open
now
wide.
you feel
Yeah.
great, right? So
Yep.
that's like the most simple way where we can connect with people, because I run into so many people who are saying, but I know this. But
Yeah.
there is a difference between knowing and
And
to
doing.
understand that if
Yeah.
we do know it, our results would show it. And
Yeah.
if our results are not showing, that means there is some kind of disconnect. And
Yes.
that's exactly where the coaches are coming to the place to help people. How do we actually connect these links together so they are all connected, and then we can see how our results start showing up for us.
Yeah, I like that analogy too because it's so visual, you can actually picture it, and
Yeah.
I'm, like, salivating now, I know what I'm having for dinner. But also
Right.
it's a great point because we can look at that on 2 sides, really. We can look at it on the side of, I know things, but am I actually doing it? What are the steps that are
Mhm.
required and actually to get to the end result, to have that steak on the plate? But the other really intuitive side to look at it is when we make assumptions about other people who talk about what they know. And it can be people who come across as, very I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and plans and then they don't do it. But also from a place of not assuming um when people like, not assuming the worst of somebody. Like, until we understand life from someone else's eyes, which is impossible completely, it's just it's great not to judge because we don't know all the steps of
Mhm.
the I know and I'm going to and taking the effort to try to take action. Some people, we don't necessarily have the like the skills, but it's not necessarily something that we is gonna benefit to judge.
I love what you are sharing. And let's go a little bit deeper, because when people are saying, okay, predictable income, first of all, a lot of people do not even have, like, coaches and healers do not even have the clarity, like what number I would love to generate, right? Whether
Mhm.
this is a monthly income, whether this is a yearly. We gotta have this specific, because it's easy for our mind to connect with that, right? So we want to have that specificity. And now when we have the goal, it's easy for us to understand, okay, how do we break down this goal into the small steps in order to see how to achieve it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's where the gold is in the small steps. If we try to imagine the
Mhm.
outcome and we wanna get there from here, it's too
Mhm.
big of a jump. So that's what really causes us to fall back into old habits.
And I also wanted to point out the thing about how our energy matters, right?
Yeah.
Because if we are confident, if we believe that we can do it, we are going to show up differently as if we are still in doubt, right? So our presence matter. our, the way we show up, the how enthusiastic we are,
Yeah,
right? No matter, even when sometimes doesn't work out for us, but we know exactly, Jennifer, how energy works, right? We want
absolutely.
to maintain that level on that frequency in order for us to really be able to have what we want. And again, what would you agree, it's always easy when you have the support.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. It makes it so much easier.
Yes. So I would like to go into some of the specific things because predictable income is not something random.
No.
It's not when people are, like sometimes taking the effort and something just shows up. The predictable income is something that we are creating with the repeatable momentum. So let's just break down some of the important pieces. And as we are talking to the people who are having the businesses online, the most important thing is visibility. Because if we are not showing up, people do not know that we exist, right? And a lot of coaches and healers and online creators, they are still kind of hiding behind the scene, and they're saying, okay, when things are going to be perfect, then I'll show up. When I figure out all the technology on how to go live, I'll show up. And when I feel more confident, then I'll show up. And until they already have everything figured out, they're just postponing it. But we do not realize that when we become visible, that visibility starts creating the sense of familiar. And
Mhm.
when we have that sense of familiar, people start trusting us more, because if we are not just showing up once a month, but we are showing up consistently, people see that there is consistency in the way that, or we are teaching, in the way that we are presenting the content and all good stuff. So visibility is super, super important. Jennifer, do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I love everything you're saying. It makes so much sense, and it's again, when we talk about, like, knowing, like, we know this, like, we all know
Mhm.
this, just be consistent, show up, do the things, but there's the again, we'll go back to, like, the nervous system part of there's a fear, there's something emotionally that's detecting danger or threat in some way, so we don't, or we get overwhelmed, or we go into
Mhm.
action paralysis or something. But a great way to really find the answer is ask your future self, like, imagine yourself in 5 or 10 years from now, and that version of you who did it, like, who got to where you wanna go, and say,
Mhm.
"Tell me what I need to do right now today," and you'll always have the answer, and it's everything that you're saying.
I love that. I love that. So, first, we were talking about energy and mindset. Second, we are talking about have that visibility, because we gotta show up somewhere. And if you don't feel comfortable on camera, at least do some kind of post and blog and whatever it takes, but start from somewhere, right?
Yeah,
The
there's so
set,
many options nowadays, and it's so much less
exactly.
professional having to look nowadays. You can just be yourself, and that's what people want. They
Yeah,
wanna get to know us on a human level.
exactly. They connect with us more on that level.
Mhm,
Another great thing as number 4 point is relationships. The
mhm.
relationships create revenue, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of clients come from the conversations, from referrals, from collaborations, from
Yeah.
the communities that we belong to, from the networking, from being remembered, right? So business grows much faster when people know you,
Yeah.
not just because they just follow you silently, right? So this is why rooms, the communities, the podcasts, the lives like we are just creating, right? The collaborations, like that summit is a huge collaboration, the networking, everything matters, because we want to be more visible and we want to shine our light, we want to show our expertise, so the right people are connecting with us.
Mhm, exactly. I think it's so key. It's don't miss a week of connection, and I and
Mhm.
I would say every single day, just have a touch point of, in your whether it's through social media or it's through direct messaging, just staying in touch with people, keeping the door open to, I remember, when it used to be like live networking, there was like lunch and learns and there was
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
happy hour, networking groups. We were constantly meeting people and handing out like business cards. But nowadays, because it's so much easier with social media, it's easy to not do it because we're not committed to showing up at a certain time and
Mm-hmm.
being there. So it's really important for us to commit to ourselves and stay in touch. Like even like meeting you, it's so great because the next thing you know, I'm part of your summit and recommend it to everybody, by the way. Talk to Irina. Yeah, it's really
Thank
fun.
you.
Amazing people that you attract in it as well. But I think that's really one of the key things also to build
Mhm.
your confidence if you want to be posting online more is just have conversations with people, let people get to know you. You never know, sometimes it's like 2 years later someone will reach out and say, yeah, remember we chatted that time and I've been
Oh,
following you ever since,
yeah.
and now I want to be your client. So
Mm-hmm. So, so beautiful, right? So another thing what I wanted to point out is everything requires number 5 point is predictable income comes from our predictable actions, right? It's not when somebody just feels wake up motivated, okay, I got an idea, I'm going to go live or I'm showing up, and then next week we hear crickets, right? So it's not about just motivation, it's actually when we have some kind of rhythm that we are connecting with, and this is something that is on a repeat. Maybe this is just following up, like you mentioned, Jennifer. Maybe this is inviting people to the offers. This is our consistent visibility. This is us staying connected with the audience. This is nurturing relationship, right? Talking about what do we actually do on a regular basis, because these small consistent movement really start compounding, and all it takes is just to stay in that rhythm.
Yeah, it's so important, and also, if you get out of rhythm, don't get so hard on yourself that you then
Mhm.
stop for months and months. I've done that lots of times. But even if, like, there are so many different places that you can stay consistent. Just pick the easiest one that fits your energy level that day if you're feeling a little overwhelmed to just keep doing it.
I love that. So, number 6 is clarity, right? That clarity matters so much because a lot of times people might watch us, but they don't really understand who we are helping, why it matters to them, how to work with us, right? So, confused people really buy. And that's why it's important to simplify our messaging and just think about it. If I'm not talking to somebody who already understands all that work, what are the words that I'm choosing? How can I bring some concepts to make it more related to life, like we were talking about, just like knowing all the recipes, watching all the time YouTube, but never actually cooking, right?
Yeah.
So the more we can kind of relate and take people into these stories and relatable experience, the more they understand, okay, this is the way that you help. And not everybody is still comfortable to have the call to action at the end. I
Mm,
say that, this is the most important thing. People are putting these beautiful images, good morning, everybody, like have a beautiful day, but they are still shine and they are not talking about how can people connect with them, how can people work with them, right? And this is the key because again, we are living in the world where we love some guidance,
yeah.
and if we are not having that next step, what do we do? What is the path with that person? Even sometimes people are coming and they enjoy lives. But if that person who is showing up doesn't have any next step, like over here, we are talking about the summit, right? And we have Jennifer link. Like if anybody loves what Jennifer is sharing, you are more than welcome to click on the link and just explore, right? So always have that call to action, because if we do not invite people, nobody knows. It's just the same way as, like we are meeting with each other, Jennifer. I haven't seen you for ages. It's so great to catch up. I wish we could sit and just, like sip some wine on the beach, blah, blah, blah. But at the end, we are leaving and we are not making like, okay, I'll call you next week, or, like let's arrange something for next month, right? If we do not have the clear pathway or next step, that's exactly what relates to business, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So the more we understand that it is the business, it's not just hanging out. Yes, we are having fun, but we also have the mission, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the more we realize, the better we become, and it just kind of already, like makes lots of sense to us.
It makes so much sense. Clarity is key. If you don't know what you want, how are you gonna get what you want? And another thing
Exactly.
I can add in there as well is when you're, when you have like a bigger end goal or something that you're aspiring to get to, the little steps along the way, ask yourself through it, because it's easy to get caught up in distractions and doing things that are
Hmm.
like more busy than actually productive. So just ask yourself. So let's say money is the thing that you want more of right now. That's the main goal for certain projects. Then anytime you're deciding what to do, ask yourself, is this taking me closer to the money or further away from it?
Love that.
Whatever it is your goal. So if we're saying that money is it, so that would be that you're constantly putting that in your focus. So you're focusing towards versus have to finish this or getting busy doing other things or feeling the lack of the money.
I love that. Such a great point, Jennifer. And the last but not least, what I wanted to address, and obviously there are more than that, but these are like the main points that I just wanted to cover. The momentum is number seven. Momentum is built, it's not found. So just think about it, that we are building that momentum through just showing up consistently. We are continuing doing, we are reconnecting with people, we are staying visible, we allowing ourselves to be seen repeatedly, even when the engagement feels quiet, but even when there are crickets. Because I do remember, like the first year I was online, there was not much viewership, there was not much engagement, but because I consistently kept doing it, 3 4 years in, now I can see like a good turnaround. And again, it just showing up that, first of all, like they always say, algorithm, yes, algorithm is going to reward the people who are showing up consistently, right? And behind the algorithm, it's just our pure energy,
Mhm.
how committed we are to something. Because again,
Mhm.
commitment, the desire for the greater good. And if we are saying, okay, I'm going to show up even if I don't feel like it, but I know that somebody is watching who might of like find my tip or my advice valuable, I'm just
Yeah.
going to do that for them. And like you mentioned, Jennifer, people might scroll and come across our feeds, a couple of years from now, and you'd be surprised how things started to turn around and to show up for us.
Yeah, and that momentum is just energy movement, just
Hmm.
keep moving. Even just one little step, if you get overwhelmed by where, oh, it feels like so much or so far away, just okay, just one step, just a little step, just to keep. That's what momentum is. It's the snowball doesn't stop.
I love that. So, so good. So, Jennifer, tell a little bit about your talk on the summit. What is the topic of our
Oh,
conversation that
you
we had
say it.
together?
You say it.
All right, let me just pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay, why consistency feels boring until it starts paying you.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of intriguing. Well, I won't give it all away because you got to be at the summit really to get
Yes.
it. But it really, we talk about um, getting to a place of self clarity. So, I mean, really, all the points that you made today is a big clue into what makes it happen. But it's when we look at the word boring, it's like it's not fun. I don't like it. But boring is right now. It's
Mm-hmm.
forgetting what you're going for and what's actually going to be the result of the consistency. So it's not just I don't like this right now. It's not fun. It's I'm going to do this because my future self is going to be so happy with what I have. So I don't want to
Yeah,
give too
so
much
so
away. How much
true.
do you want me to say?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It just like we were talking about, it's one thing when it's easy to start for the people because
Oh yeah.
start always feels exciting, it feels
Yeah.
very motivated, right? And then we see that everybody's kind of, like deflating because that's where the boring part comes because we have to hold that energy. We're supposed to do whatever we are doing. And what really comes to my mind is the gym. It's like, people are okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to look
Yeah.
fit and everything else. And then what happened? Because it becomes boring, right? So
Yeah.
it just like not all the time we are motivated and we are inspired, but this is exactly how we become in a different version of ourselves, the version who can actually finish what we started, who can just consistently showing up and just really hold the word that they promise.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like the perfect example because the gym is, well, let's just call it exercise, right? The
Mhm,
exercise for most of us, um, we don't there's a lot of effort and there's some pain and discomfort that comes with it if you're
mhm.
doing it
Yep.
right. And we don't see the results for a while. And
Mhm,
sometimes we don't see the results for weeks or even months, depending on,
mhm.
the
Yep.
results you're looking for. And it's so easy to just feel deflated and feel, but that's the key is like if you think about 1 year ago, what was something that you really wanted to have achieved by now that you didn't do? And then
Mhm,
think if you just did it and just push through the discomfort, you would have that right now. But it's okay. So that's in the past. So we know that there's more knowledge, right? So the key is what do you want to do now? Because now is the second best time to start again. So just that one little thing. Don't even look for results. Like don't even if the gym is your thing, don't be flexing or looking or getting on the scale. If money is the thing, don't obsess about the dollars in and out. Um, just keep doing the action. And one day, like if it's, I know with exercise, this is what happened for me because for so long, I just couldn't find the exercise that was right for me. But one day I just got a glimpse. I was like, oh, I have definition in my arms. Wow, it finally actually happened. And now I don't want to not do it. Right. And so
mhm,
with money, it's the same thing. It can be so deflating to look at the numbers, but if you just keep going, just you obviously do your accounting properly, but one day it will just all of a sudden seem like it pays off is what I'm getting to. It does,
mhm.
but keep pushing, don't stop, don't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. And you also going to offer to summit participants your free
Yeah.
gift. Tell a little bit about what it is.
Yes. So I have a workshop. It's a live seminar, and it's for integration. So it's you get super clear on like we deep dive on you specifically. It's not a cookie cutter program. It's not a everybody does this and this. You get super clear on what's deeper down, and it's just through some really cool questions that gets you thinking. Like, yeah, the people who have done it are just like wow, it's really
Mhm.
great. So yeah, so if you do the summit, you get that for free.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I enjoy our conversation,
Me too.
Jennifer. Thanks so much for coming, for just sharing all your beautiful gifts, and for everybody to understand. Yes, there is a way to create that predictable income system, and there is a way that creates the consistent client flow. And if you want to dive even deeper, register for the event. Again, you do not have to be anywhere physically sitting or in the specific hours. Just register, and starting June 8th, you'll start receiving the emails to your inbox with 2 interviews per day for these amazing speakers so
Mm,
you can digest it your time. And if you love it so much, you can even invest in VIP pass and have it for the lifetime.
there you go.
What's better than that, right?
Yeah, not much.
Yes. So again, register. You have the links everywhere as well as on this screen, and we are super excited to meet you and just to support you because again, there is a platform for with so many amazing people, and through the interviews you're going to explore who is my person, because again, we are all vibing
So many
differently.
great
And
people.
yes,
So many.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So just connect to somebody, and whatever you have in your mind, either this is okay, I'm not confident enough, or I can't stay long on the things, right? Or I want to clarify my message, or I want to understand how to create a better content. Whatever is your jam, just watch these interviews because it actually covers everything.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. That was so super cool.
That was
And if
fun.
yes, thank you so much. And if everybody, whoever is joining, looking at this live, and you know your friend or somebody who might benefit from this summit, please share,
Yes.
because sharing is caring. Because like I do it all the time. If I look at something and I feel like there are people who can benefit from that, I always share, because again, whatever we are sharing is going to come back to us 10 times.
Yeah. And can I just say, you are one of the most generous people I know. You're very
Oh,
thoughtful and
thank you
generous. Yeah.
so much. Thanks,
You're welcome.
appreciate. And yeah, and it's beautiful how we are all connected. And again, it's all through collaboration, through referrals. And that's the way to build the business,
Momentum and
because
clarity and
yes,
everything.
because again, we were not meant to do it alone. Somebody is sitting alone and struggling. We do not want you to be this way.
Yeah.
Just come, be the part of this beautiful, exciting community and create the magic, because that's
Mhm.
exactly the summit
Yeah.
what it is for, right? Just creating that magic for yourself, because
Yeah.
we all can have it.
Yeah.
And this is now your time, because if you're watching it, if you're thinking, should I register? I went to all the different events. If you already have this question in your mind, that means you're meant to register. Register and see whatever lands for you differently. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And we'll see Jennifer for more live. So tune in. Join the Facebook group, because that's where I post the entire schedule for the entire months where we are showing up, and connect with the community, connect with like-minded people, because that's what matters. All right. Thank you
Amazing.
so
Bye,
much. And
everybody.
see you tomorrow. Bye.